Dover Sports Talk worldwide with some Westbrook news. Yeah, Russell Westbrook news. I ain't gonna try to act like it's just basketball news. You got the NBA this year, and you got Russell Westbrook. I've said it pretty much every time. I'm here to make sure that these triple doubles that this man is putting up just doesn't turn into ho hum. We're gonna document this. You understand? Right? Because what we're seeing is nothing less of ridiculous. Well, last night he pretty much solidifies his MVP status, which he's done before as far as I'm concerned. But he's coming off of a overtime win against Orlando, where he hits 57 points, right? Yeah, 57 points, 13 rebounds, 11 assists, and records his 38th triple double of the year. He's only three behind the most of all time with Oscar Robertson. I told you that Bigfoot footage. That was when TVs were black and white. But he's still only three behind, right? They clinched the playoff spot, right, last night, which is good for OKC, right? I think that Russ Westbrook has made OKC must-see TV, even though Kevin Durant is not there, right? So, we're going to see how they're going to look in the playoffs in these last few games. It's just a few things I see within that team that, they're going to have to get together before they hit the playoffs. And I know I don't want to pick on any players, but McDermott is underachieving. And this guy, Christian, I think his name is, who comes in point guard to give Russell some rest. This guy, the drop-off is too big. It's too large. The guy, he doesn't come off the pick and roll and attack it, right? He won't take an outside shot, be it mid-range or from the three, which means they can basically just forget him and go help somewhere else. He has got to understand that he's got to try to attack in some form, either attack hard and try to get to the basket, get to the free throw line, or at least take a three-point shot and act like you mean it. So somebody has to recognize what you're doing out there. Those things are going to have to improve. Right? Of course, people are going to have to hit a few of these three-point shots so they won't pack it in on Russ when he's coming off the high pick and roll. But I'm sure everyone knows that in basketball. No. But getting to Russell Westbrook, the reason why I think the MVP should be a done deal is, first of all, if this guy averages 30, 10, and 10, that's something we haven't seen since the Bigfoot footage, since 1962, right? So that should be it, as that's what's been in my opinion up until now. I think if he doesn't get it, then we shouldn't be talking about triple doubles. Every time you look in the game summary and the stats or whatever from the game, if someone hits a triple double, we always mention it because it doesn't happen that often, right? Just because someone's averaging one doesn't mean we don't mention it or it's become ho hum. This is huge, right? And he's pretty close to averaging one. And by the way, most of the time when someone leads the league in scoring, most of the time they're in the MVP conversation just from that alone. Well, he's leading the league in scoring, right? 2, right? Name me another guard in the league right now who's averaging 10 rebounds. He's in the top 10 in rebounds, or 11, number 11 in the whole league, just from the guard position. So that's something extraordinary. And he has his team in 6th place in the West, right? Which we're repeating over and over. But, last night, two nights in a row, this team comes back in the 3rd and 4th quarters to win these games late with his heroics, right? Just taking over games. Last night, they were 21 points behind in the 3rd quarter, and that's the biggest deficit in OKC history where they came back, right? This is incredible. So what happens is the crowds in opposing arenas are screaming MVP. People are starting to know what they see, right? The MVP in Orlando and in other places. They are seeing greatness and they know it. So all of this talk about all these other guys this year, even James Harden, great season, but it just happens to be in the wrong season, right? This should be a done deal, especially if we're going to keep talking about triple doubles like it's something important. If it is, then someone getting close to 40 of them in a season is ridiculous. And not getting 12, 10, and 10. I'm leading the league in scoring, and I'm still averaging a triple-double. All right? So these are the things that I think you just shouldn't rob the man of it, right? Let's see what they're going to say. I think last night, as far as I'm concerned, last night that should have sealed the deal. Right? There should be no more talk about who's the MVP. Now, what I would accept, my personal opinion, I would probably accept this co-MVP thing, right? But he has to have his name on that MVP trophy this year. There shouldn't be any doubt about it after this game. Let's see how this works out going forward. We got a few more games. But remember, guys, 38th triple-double of the year. He's got 3 more to go to tie Oscar Robertson. Let's even see if he can do that. All right? Doma Sports Talk Worldwide, and I'm up out of here.